Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'll draw a scene for you, as always, using a variety of pencils, a smudging tool, and whatever eraser I think works best for the situation. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. I'll start drawing myself the old trusted frame. Okay, I don't think I'll need a horizon line today. I'll just go right into the sky. Holding the pencil at a very acute angle to cover as much ground as possible. I go left to right, right to left. Getting brighter and brighter as I go down. Maybe to about 1/4 of my area right here. Okay. Now I'm trying to get rid of the lines, make it as even as possible. Going back up, trying to fill in those gaps that are left between the lines. Trying to get a little darker on the top. Oh, got a very dark line right there. Gotta make everything even darker now. That's not too bad. It can get a little darker. Getting really dark right now, especially on the right side. Something up with how I apply pressure as I go left and right. I think I press way harder when I go right. But that's okay. Alright, I think that's smooth enough, dark enough at the top. I'll use the smudging tool now to make the sky as smooth as possible. Get rid of the lines. But don't worry too much. Just go from the top down. Like that. Okay. Sweet. Now let's have a cloud right there in the middle. You know what? Let's start with a cloud right up there. I want to try something. Sometimes the clouds are darker than the sky everywhere. Every point of the cloud you see is just dark. You don't see the light side. It's there. It's on the other side, but you don't see it. So although in other clouds that are in other positions in the sky, different altitude or whatever, in other clouds you see the light parts, in others you don't. In the same instance in the sky. So this is a dark one. Maybe a little darker still. Just trying to fill in this entire area. Okay. And now it's still three-dimensional. Wait, let me work on those outlines a little. Let me give it something right here that's brighter. There's something here, a little bit of a brighter area that you can't see, so let me make it a little darker. But you see it's still brighter than this big cloud there. Okay, let's have a messy sky. Some stuff going on there. All sorts of random shapes of those clouds. Okay, those aren't too thick, but this one is, and so there are even darker areas. Right here, maybe down there. Seems like they're mostly to the right. At least that's what I'm doing right now. Just didn't think about it, just made all the right sides of those volumes darker, so it appears the light shines down from the top left, mostly from the top. But yeah, this is the shape. Like this. Let's have some more details in there. Otherwise, some areas look really flat and blank. Add some details in it. Right here. Something in here as well. Okay. Now it looks like a full volume, a complete volume. Now for that other cloud. I want it to be a little bit more down here, and we can see the top of it. Therefore we can see the bright part. Maybe just all the way down here, down there, and everywhere. All the way in this entire area. Okay. Let me wipe off the eraser residue. Alright. Now I'll still take the HB pencil and fill in this entire area. Well, not the entire area actually. I'll leave a rather large gap to the edge of the cloud. You can barely see it, but you can see it. You see this wobbly line up here, the very bright line. It's the upper part of the cloud. And then down here, I'll bring in another layer. Make it darker here. Just going across the bottom of this cloud. Maybe make this go in here, up there, maybe in this layer there's something going over here, up there, over there and in here. Something in here and something up there. Okay. Taking the smudging tool again, and I wipe some of the graphite into the brighter area, but I'm careful not to go all the way up to the top of the bright area. I still want to leave a very bright edge where the cloud is the brightest, the very sunlit area of the cloud. Picking the smudging tool off the paper as I go down and only pull it up. Only have it make contact with the paper when I pull it up. Down here, I don't care too much. I just want to make the cloud smooth, get rid of those lines, but still leave some brighter areas. Don't make it all the same value. Leave some differences, so it looks like there are minor volumes poking out of this cloud. Okay. The next thing I want to do is have some trees down there. So maybe right here there are two evergreens. Let's put them here. And now at the very top, I'm not using the technique that I showed you in the other drawing that I did. Or well, it's going to come in later. At the top, there's something poking out right there. Those branches, those tiny branches at the top, poke up into the sky, and then they go more like downwards. As you go down. Okay. Something like this. Something like that. Right there. And now I'm filling in those areas below the branches. Like so. Something more over here. Something right there. A little bit more down here. Towards the middle. It's always fuller. Always darker. You can barely see through in the middle, but the more you go outside, the more space is between the branches. still looks rather what do you call it? Doesn't look full enough. The tree doesn't have enough branches. So let's give him some more. One coming down there. This one right here. One right there. Right there as well. Overlapping with the other branches. One's behind here. One is down there. And then down here it's dark as well. Okay. Going to the other tree. Some stuff going on up here. There's this one down there. Right here. This one. Let me first fill in those branches that I already drew in. It's not enough to make the tree look full, but I'll afterwards have a look where it needs some more branches. For now, let's just fill this in. Give it one more down here. Really dark down there. All the branches down here. Okay, still needs a lot. Maybe here. Maybe one right here and another one going out like this. One like this. A little bit darker right here. Okay, let's see how this looks. Right here, right there, all the way to over there. Let's have one more down here, one more down there, a little bit more in here. Let's just fill that up, that gap. And something more over there. Okay. Bunch of evergreens. Next thing. Let me look the name of this tree up. English. There. Oh yes, okay, it's called a birch. That lingered in my mind, but I didn't want to say it, thinking it might be a false friend. Okay, just some branches that go down there, and then some more going on down here. And now I'll first get the HB pencil and fill in some areas where there are patches of leaves hanging down. Leave some blank areas where you can see through the leaves. Some small blank areas. Go the other direction to create some more dense parts, some less dense parts. Make it dark all the way down there. And then make small zigzag lines. I should draw a larger birch someday, so you can see this. You can't really see it right now, so I'll just quickly do it. Ah, yeah, it's kind of visible in the stream. So each strain of a small zigzag line is a strain of leaves hanging down. A darker strain that hangs in the shadow, where all the leaves are a little darker than the rest. Okay. That didn't even turn out half bad. Really looks like a birch in the stream, I think. You can indeed see what I tried to do there. And then there's another tree right there, right next to it. Let me have a look. What's that called in English? A linden. All right. Let's have a linden right here. This is more like the type of tree that I normally draw, or that I normally drew so far for the stream. Well, the type of tree I draw could also be an oak. Could also be an apron. Just from the structure and the type of leaves, but I've got some variety in here with the birch. And then this linden down here. That sounds like the plural. One linden? Is it one linden, two lindens? Sounds like it is. It's very similar in German. It's Linde. And in German, the plural is Linden. Eine Linde, zwei Linden. Maybe that's why the English word sounds like it's the plural for me. Okay. Get in there. Let's give it just a general shadow all the way, leaving the top left a little lighter. Okay. I was hoping you could see the cloud a little bit more. I wanted it to really poke out behind those trees, but the contrast really isn't high enough. Let me maybe just, for the sake of visibility, give this cloud an outline today. Enhance the contrast between this light area and the sky as well, so it's set apart from the sky a little bit better. Plus, it's generally just more visible. Okay, now that I'm at it, I want to give the inside volumes outlines as well. So I'm going to do that right here. Going into my comic style drawing again a little bit, but I think it really looks better like this. Really makes everything more visible. Okay. I'm really more satisfied with that. Look at that cloud back there. Okay. Let's continue with this tree. Let's make the shadow side darker. Just retracing all those outlines of the volumes that I made with the HB pencil. And now let's give it a dark side right here. There, right here. And all the right sides of the inside volumes are darker as well. Just like so. Just like that. All right. Okay. Now we've got two blank spaces still on the left and on the right. And what I want to do there is just make this. A little too curvy. Oh well. Couldn't trace that line again. Now what's this, you might ask? That's a rooftop of a building in front of the trees. And I'm trying to give this a structure. And then gotta get rid of those areas of the trees. Just give it some sort of value. This is the light value. And then there's going to be a shadow value. That's definitely going to be down below, right here. What's this going to be? I think like this. Can you see that? Yes, you can. All those tiles on the roof. I'm just orienting myself towards the grid that I drew in. From every corner, a tile starts. Okay, now those downside areas are a little larger than just one line. Maybe they look a little bit like waves. Maybe like this. Maybe I can make this process faster by using this wide area of the LED. Yeah. Look at that speed. That's way faster than using the pointed end and retracing every line several times. Just gotta retrace it once with the larger area to make the lines larger. Okay. But I want an even larger area down here to the right. Maybe like so. Okay, now I gotta see where. Yeah, I think the topmost area is going to be hit by the light the most, and the rest is going to be a bit darker. Like, should look like this, I think. And I wasn't too precise with my grid, so those lines don't end up too straight right now, but just a little bit. I want to have this highlight going along each row of tiles. Can you see the highlight? No, not quite. Maybe once I'm done, it's going to poke through every now and then in the stream. That's a very crooked line right here. But anyway. Yes, you can see it. Especially if I make it like this. That's the technique. Okay. Give it a little transition. The darkest part is right here, right next to the highlight. And then there's a little transition towards the highlight. Like this. Damn, that almost looks good. I'm really proud of finding this just as I was going along, just for my general drawing practice and knowledge of where a bit of the light should be. Yeah, it's not perfect, of course, but I'm pretty satisfied with that. I didn't think I could just out of the top of my head come up with this tile structure. Okay. Now, what am I going to do to the left? By now, maybe you may have guessed that from the beginning I wanted this little scene with the cloud and the trees to be framed by two buildings. So there's going to be a building here, but I have to visualize what it's going to be like, at what angle it is going to stand. Of course, it has to overlap with those trees right here, with this linden, so there's no gap right here. I gotta sneeze, excuse me. Found the mute button for the second one. Excuse me, anyway. Okay. Gonna stand right here. The roof's going to be right there and go up here. More like here, though, maybe. So that there's an area. Yes. Right there. Let's get rid of the background in this area. Like this. And yeah, I was thinking I'm just going to leave in the sky. Since it's so bright, it won't matter too much, but let me get rid of that as well. Oh. Okay. What are we going to see? We're going to see a window. Let's just have one window right here. Let's not get caught up too much. Let's follow a little bit of perspective. No, let's make this even wider like this. Let's make this come down more like over here. Let me see if I can make this work. I want it to look like the window. We don't look right at the front of this building. I want it to be like a two-point perspective. And this goes down inwards a little bit. Like this and like that. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. This line has to go downward though instead of upward, I think. No, that looks strange as well. But yeah, it has to go downward. Maybe the angle is just too big. Should be like that, yeah, okay. Now, this area of the roof points downward. We see the downward area. So that's in the shadow. So we just see the dark area right here. And make it all dark. Dark area of the roof. Right there. Okay. going to be lighter though, so I've got to get rid of this dark cloud. Let me give the wall a sort of value and also a structure. Let me maybe just make some lines like that, just for some sort of structure in here. And a little bit more whatever's going on in here, whatever structure that is. Maybe it's wooden planks. Yep. So something going on right there. Let's make this area a little darker, where there's a cast shadow from the roof. Okay, and then the lower side of this window is dark as well. As well as this side. It's also turned away from the sun. So it's rather dark, but not as dark as the lower area of the window frame. And then we've got a little dark area right here. Okay. Give the window a reflection. Like this. And there you have it. That's our scene for today. Turned out more than I thought it would in some ways, and less than I thought it would in others. But I'm actually rather satisfied. Also, I'm rather proud of myself right now for pulling through with this. I started at midnight, when normally I try to stream at noon, but I picked up the motivation, pulled myself together more like, because I wasn't motivated, pulled myself together and drew a scene anyway. Okay. Upper area. Like this. Right there. Okay. All my fingerprints. Away with them. Okay. Now let's sign this. Okay. Just as always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for waiting a couple of days. For now, I'm only going to stream when I don't have to work. So when I have to work, you'll have to be patient. But yeah, thanks for being here. I hope you were entertained, maybe learned something. Maybe you could just chill out, find a little bit of peace from your turbulent day. I'm happy that there are people watching. I'm really happy that there are some subscribers. People seem to find something in what I do here. And that's really something for me. So, thank you, and I'll see you again in the next one.